Welcome back to the Halifax 57 Rescue Show. And folks, our headquarters for all of this wonderful adventures that we're doing on Halifax's and our bomber boys and our veterans comes to you from our headquarters called the Bomber Command Museum of Canada, and it's in Nanton, Alberta. And a long time ago, when we were looking to build another Halifax, which is the mandate of Halifax 57 Rescue, we were able to strong arm the wonderful folks at Bomber Command Museum into including a Halifax in their future. And why would we have picked the Bomber Command Museum of Canada? Because they are the goest, most determined memorial museum in all of Canada. And when they rebuilt their Lancaster, they got all the engines running. And this is a wonderful adventure to share with you. And you're going to see it up close and personal in the witching hours of the evening of a Lancaster starting up and running all four engines, a tribute to our bomber boys. And as you know, the 1-2 punch of Bomber Command was the Lancaster and the Halifax in the Royal Canadian Air Force in Bomber Command.
Okay, hi, I'm Dan Fox, Vice President of the Bomber Command Museum of Canada, where we are this evening, and we're getting ready for a night engine run on the Lancaster bomber behind me, which is going to take place in about 20 minutes. And we're trying to recreate what it would have looked like, sounded like, when the bombers were getting ready to head out over occupied Europe on a bombing mission or operation. And so this is about the time of night that they would have been assembling in England, getting ready to take off for a 7 or 8 or 9 hour flight over occupied Europe, where the night fighters and the anti-aircraft fire were trying to knock them down. So it was a very dangerous time, and we want people to feel a little bit what it was like to have been in one of those bombers getting ready to take off.
Pressure's 100 pounds. Parking brake is set. Boost coil switch is on. Number 3 mag switches are on. Number 3 throttle is set. We clear 3?
Clear 3.
Starting 3.
Here we are again, folks. Halifax 57 Rescue Show, working with TimeKeepers Canada and Bomber Command Museum of Canada. And we're continuing on with this huge adventure of finding a Halifax somewhere in the world. And this program deals with the actual discovery on sonar of the Halifax lying in 730 feet of water. That's 230 meters for you modern folks. And what we had to do once we had formed a group and started collecting money to recover the airplane is we had to find the technology to go deep into Lake Mjøsa, Norway, to actually see the Halifax and prepare to lift it. No one has ever done this before or since. A heavy bomber has to come out of over 700 feet of fresh water.
The place, Lake Mjøsa, Norway, a land of sailors, Vikings, and fearless adventurers. But on the evening of April 24th, 1945, a Halifax bomber was shot down on a secret operations mission. An emergency ditching attempt was made, but the aircraft sank 750 feet to the bottom of this very dark and mysterious lake. Using the latest in underwater technology, our program explores a daring attempt by a group of adventurers to rescue this 36,000-pound rare treasure, Halifax aircraft NA337. Our story begins in the small town of Hamar, Norway. In World War II, Norway was overrun by Nazi Germany, and in defense of their nation, the Norwegian Underground was created. As the war was coming to a close, the objective was to provide precious supplies to the Norwegian Underground. From England, a secret nighttime mission using a Halifax bomber was to be carried out. The six-man crew was made up of young British airmen. Young men just looking forward to the end of the war, but totally unaware of the tragedy that lay ahead. On that fateful night, Halifax NA337 departed from Tarrant Rushton Airfield in England. Their mission? Rendezvous at a secret location near Mikkelberget and drop supplies to the Norwegian Underground. The six-man aircrew headed northeast, then swung about to reach the drop location. Using parachutes, the supplies were delivered to their target. It was now time to go home. At the old train bridge at Minnesota, a German anti-aircraft battery lay in waiting. The sky burst forth with machine gun and anti-aircraft fire. Shells cut the starboard wing like paper. With one engine on fire, the flames burned in an uncontrollable rage. Tor Marceau remembers the night as if it was yesterday.
I heard the plane in the night, at 2 o'clock in the night.
You heard it?
I heard the plane. I heard it was something wrong with the plane.
Yes?
Yes.
The motors were...
motors,
the
yes,
sound
yes,
was
yes.
not right.
Yes, no, not right.
Yes?
And I was feeling that they were in danger, and that they were looking down on Mother World, Earth.
Yes.
Earth.
Mother Earth,
And
yes.
Yes. And I felt I had contact with the crew.
Yeah, so there was something urgent was happening.
Urgent, yes,
Yes, yes.
I heard it.
Wow.
I had a nightmare.
Huh.
Quite a nightmare.
The plane continued to carry the six men to their rendezvous with destiny. Making a critical decision, the pilot decided to ditch the plane on the lake. A few seconds later, they hit. The impact tore the tail completely off. Thomas Waitman, the rear gunner, after striking his head and losing consciousness, woke up underwater. Swimming to the surface, he discovered the nightmare had become a reality. Climbing up on the main fuselage, he realized he would have to act quickly. His only hope of survival, the life raft.
Supposed to come out, as you say,
Yes.
when you land in the water, but it didn't. I suppose it all depends what sort of landing you make, you know. And
How did you get it out? How did you get the dinghy released?
how to go back in again. And
Back
in fact,
into the
have sort of under the water again and pull the manual. So, the aircraft was nose down.
Yeah.
And the dinghy releases on sort of near the roof, and that go down and pull it. The dinghy came out, and I just came out, and the aircraft started to go down. I just managed to, but it came out sort of upside down.
The aircraft eventually filled with water and began to slowly slide below the surface. As the plane disappeared, the men began to react to the extremely cold temperatures of the water and the Norwegian night air.
I got onto the dinghy, and it wasn't long before, of course, I'd lost my boots at the time as well, so my feet were beginning to freeze as well. And I managed to pull one or two of the lads over to the dinghy, but they were absolutely dead, and I just couldn't do anything. And I couldn't sort of lift them onto the dinghy either, not the way that I was either.
Thomas Waitman was the only survivor. As Halifax NA337 came to rest on the lake bottom, 240 meters down, it became locked in a frigid time warp, its existence and location a mystery for over 50 years.
So, folks, there you have another portion of this grand adventure to get a Halifax out of 700 feet of water. And just remember, all that we've done for you, everything that we are doing at Halifax 57 Rescue, we need your support. We're a registered charity. We can give you tax receipts. We can find you Halifaxes. We can rebuild Halifaxes, but we sure need your support and funding to continue our adventure. And bottom line is, we do it for our veterans. Next week, come and see the interview with Hank Jackson, rear gunner on a Halifax, Distinguished Flying Cross, 32 combat trips, and we wanted to share this with you as a very special program on Hank Jackson. And guess what, folks? He's still alive. He'll be 104 years old in January of 2025. So this month, Hank Jackson, 104. But come and see his combat career. Thanks, and see you soon.